Your dog's dinner could be putting your entire family in hospital. A recent study published in PLOS One tested 31 complete dry dog foods sold right here in the UK and found that none of them met all the nutritional guidelines they're legally supposed to. Not one. Of those tested, only 17 met amino acid guidelines, and just 4 met B vitamin requirements. And here's what they're hiding from you. Because pet food is legally classified as animal feed, not human food, manufacturers can use ingredients you would never knowingly feed your family. The FSA explicitly warned that contaminated pet food puts your children at risk through cross-contamination in your own kitchen. Today, we're exposing the 7 dog foods you need to throw away immediately, and the 2 that are actually safe. 1. Rhondda Raw, beef 80/10/10. You know Rhondda Raw if you've joined the raw feeding movement. It's popular among raw feeders, chasing that 80% meat, 10% bone, 10% organ ratio. They promise natural, unprocessed nutrition straight from nature. But in October 2025, the Food Standards Agency issued a stark warning you cannot ignore. Do not feed Rhondda Raw beef 80/10/10. Batch codes 040825/BM and 050825/BM with best before August 2026 tested positive for salmonella. And salmonella doesn't just give your dog violent diarrhea and vomiting, it is zoonotic. You can catch it from handling the food, your children can catch it from touching the bowl, your family can catch it when your dog licks your face after eating. The FSA warning explicitly stated the risk to humans and advised returning the product to the store for a full refund. They knew raw meat required extreme hygiene protocols. They sold you contaminated food anyway. Your family's health was their afterthought, and the FSA had to step in to protect you. 2. Wag Kennel Chicken and Veg. You've seen Wag in every discount aisle. Pound Stretcher, B&M, Home Bargains. It's cheap, it's cheerful, and you probably thought you were being smart with your money. A 15-kilogram bag costs around £15 to £20, depending on the retailer. But ask yourself honestly, how can £15 worth of food possibly contain quality meat? Look at the ingredients on the pack. The very first ingredients are whole grain wheat and whole grain barley. That's filler. Then comes meat meal at 26% with minimum 5% chicken. While they specify chicken meal, the term meal still means rendered material that includes parts you wouldn't recognize. For a dog whose digestive system evolved for meat, a diet built on cereals means blood sugar spikes, weight gain, and chronic digestive issues. Wag isn't saving you money. They're betting their profits on your dog's health. And you're paying the price at the vet. 3. Any brand hiding behind meat and animal derivatives. Now, I need to warn you about a phrase that appears on dozens of economy brands. If you see meat and animal derivatives on any label, put it down immediately. This isn't one brand failing. This is a regulatory loophole that lets manufacturers hide exactly what's inside. UK pet food regulations legally permit this category name, which means they can use material from unknown animal sources, unknown parts, and unknown origins without telling you. They can change ingredients based on whatever is cheapest at market that week. One batch might contain chicken, the next might contain pork, the next might contain things you don't want to think about. For your dog, this inconsistency triggers allergies, digestive problems, and chronic inflammation. If a brand won't tell you exactly what's inside, it's because they don't want you to know. Transparency is the price of trust, And these brands aren't paying it. 4. Plant-based diets without supplementation. I know some of you want to align your dog's diet with your ethics. I respect that deeply. But here's what the recent PLOS-1 study discovered. Of the plant-based dog foods tested, most failed to meet FEDIAF guidelines for iodine and B vitamins. Dogs are omnivores, yes, but they have specific nutritional requirements that plants alone cannot satisfy without careful scientific supplementation. The study found that across all foods tested, only 24% met B vitamin guidelines, and just 16% met mineral guidelines. If you're buying a plant-based brand that hasn't done the research, if they're relying on marketing ethics rather than nutritional expertise, your dog could develop real deficiencies. Thyroid problems, low energy, chronic health issues. The brands know this, yet some of them exploit owner goodwill by selling nutritionally inadequate food. If you choose plant-based, you must demand independent testing results. Otherwise, your ethics could cost your dog their health. 5. Economy wet foods with hidden fillers. You've seen them in every supermarket. Own brand wet foods and budget ranges that cost pence per can. They promise a balanced meal, but here's what they don't tell you. Many of these products list cereals or vegetable derivatives as their first ingredient, not meat. And because they rely on vague category names like meat and animal derivatives, you never know the true meat content. For a species designed to thrive on animal protein, a diet of cereal-based wet food is a recipe for chronic illness. Obesity, diabetes, inflammatory bowel disease. The manufacturers know that wet food looks like real meat in the tin. They rely on that visual deception. Your dog deserves food that matches their biology, not your supermarket's profit margin. 6. Brands using lowest grade meat through regulatory loopholes. Industry critics use the term 4D meat to describe a very real concern. Meat from animals that were dead, dying, diseased, or disabled before slaughter. Technically, if it passes inspection, it can be rendered into meat meal and labeled under vague terms like meat and animal derivatives. The manufacturers know that using named quality meat costs more, so they choose the cheapest source possible, and they hide it behind legal terminology that keeps you in the dark. This isn't about one brand, it's about an entire tier of the industry built on opacity. If a brand doesn't proudly declare their meat source on the label, it's because they don't want you to know where it came from. And that should be enough to make you walk away. 7. Any food that fails the named meat test. Here's your final warning. Any food where the first 3 ingredients aren't named meat sources. If you see cereals, grains, or vague derivatives in the top spots, that food prioritizes cheap bulk over canine nutrition. UK law requires ingredients to be listed in descending order by weight. So, whatever's first makes up the largest proportion. Dogs have evolved alongside humans, yes, but their digestive systems still expect meat as the foundation. When you feed a food built on fillers, you're asking their body to extract nutrition from materials it wasn't designed to process. Over time, that creates inflammation, allergies, and organ stress. The manufacturers know this. They have veterinary nutritionists on staff. They choose cheap ingredients anyway because you're still buying. Stop buying and they'll be forced to change. The safe alternatives. So, after all those brands you need to avoid, what can you actually feed your dog safely? Let me give you 2 options. 1 premium, 1 budget. Both proven. Both available at your supermarket. For premium, choose James' well-beloved adult turkey and rice. You'll find it in Tesco, Sainsbury's, Pets at Home, or online. A 2 kilogram bag costs around £16 to £17, with larger bags offering better value. Here's why it's safe. It's hypoallergenic by design. Single animal protein from turkey at 23.3%. No beef, no pork, no soya, no eggs, no dairy. All the common allergens are excluded. The ingredients are completely transparent. Turkey meal, brown rice, white rice. No vague animal derivatives. They add chicory extract at 0.1% for gut health and yucca extract at 0.02% to reduce stool odor. It consistently meets FEDIAF guidelines and is rated as one of the most complete foods on the UK market. This is food that respects your dog's biology. For budget, choose Harrington's lamb and rice. Available absolutely everywhere. Tesco, Asda, Sainsbury's, B&M. A 2 kilogram bag costs around £3 to £5, with larger 12 kilogram bags offering better value at approximately £25 to £30. Harrington's proves you don't need to spend a fortune to feed well. There are no artificial colours, flavours or preservatives. They exclude dairy, soya and wheat, which are common sensitivity triggers. And crucially, they name their meat source. Lamb and meat meals at 26%, with dried lamb clearly listed at 6.5%. They add FOS prebiotics at 0.1% for digestive health and yucca extract at 0.01% for odor control. This is the food that proves the industry can be honest and affordable. Which brand shocked you the most? Drop your experience in the comments. And if you want to watch another video like this one, click the video on the screen right now. Thanks for watching.